Hello, everyone. Welcome to Chai With Us podcast. This is episode number 46. I am Erica, the personal developer.
Hi, and I'm Sana from Oko Isabel.
Yay. And today we are going to do something different. We are going to analyze our favorite and not so favorite quotes. We just did it like for me, it was a very quick research online. And I was like, okay, I like this. I like this. I liked pretty much all quotes. I like reading things and feel expired. Yeah,
Inspired.
I like reading things and feel inspired, not expired. Even though I feel expired right now, I'm so tired. But yeah, so I wanted to do something fun and a little bit more light today.
Mm-hmm.
Um, do you
I
want
like
to
that.
start by sharing one of
Yeah, sure. So I'll start with the long one,
Okay.
and it says, watch your thoughts, for they become words. Watch your words, for they become actions. Watch your actions, for they become habits. Watch your habits, for they become character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. So I love this quote because if you just go back to the very beginning, it's like watch your thoughts. Like your thoughts create your reality and they create your destiny. So it depends on like what kind of thoughts you're having, and that's the kind of life that you're gonna have. And that's why I love this quote because it breaks it down to you and it tells you like this is what your thoughts become, this is what your words become, this is what your character becomes. And so it all
Mm-hmm.
starts from your initial thoughts, and that's why it's so important to have a good meditation practice, maybe to like look at positive affirmations. And I
Yeah.
love what you said. Like I also love positive affirmations, and even just writing them down can completely change your mindset. So it all starts with your thoughts.
Yeah, it's completely true. And talking about affirmations, like when I'm going through, I usually journal like in the afternoon or towards the evening, just thinking about my day and, just writing. Right now, I'm actually doing a journal of Brendan Burchard's journal, and he makes like powerful questions, and then you can answer them. That's what I'm doing at the moment. But when I'm
Oh,
having a
okay.
tough time, as soon as I wake up, I open this journal. It's actually with me right now. This small journal. This is like my
Okay.
morning journal when I'm having like a tough time. And I just pretty much just write down a lot of, affirmations before I start my day. I have an example. This is a lot of
Ah,
sharing, but I love myself. I cherish myself. I take care of myself. I let go of what does not serve me. I am love. I am peace. I approve of myself. I increase my income every day. I am willing to do all of the above. It's just an
I like
example of,
that.
yeah, and I've been using it because I realize that sometimes I have these days where I had a bad night and I want to start the day correctly. So I just do it. It takes me less than a minute, and I kind of feel like a robot after. But then these things start coming, to
Mm-hmm.
me, and I
So let
have.
me ask you something. Where
Mhm.
did you get all those affirmations from? Like, what was
Oh,
your process?
my process is just like right now when I was in therapy, my my therapist, she asked me like, do you know anything about affirmations? I was like, I'm the affirmation queen. Some of the affirmations like online, some of the
Mm-hmm.
affirmation, if you read self-help books,
Mm-hmm.
if you watch a lot of personal development programs, or if you actually do the programs, if you are in this world, I think it's impossible for you to go walk your life without an affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the affirmations are not even mine per se.
Yeah.
And then some of the affirmations are just things that I know I need to hear. Like I place myself in someone else's skin, like, and I look at myself and I'm like, here's what you need to hear, child.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just let go. Right now, it's very automatic, but I am aware that I did not create the affirmations as they are, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
something that I've heard from people that I admire. Some of the affirmations may be mantras, coming from yoga. Um, yeah. So,
I like that.
Yeah.
I think
And
it's a
it's
great way
and
to
it's
start the morning.
yes, it is. It is
Mhm.
absolutely. And if you are going through like a tough time, I could not advise you more. And
Mhm.
I love the quotes that you shared because it sums up our life, I think.
Yes.
It sums up everyone's life. And
Mhm.
I think like the thing that strikes me the most on this quote and one of the most important as well is like the actions, that
Yes.
actions become habits. It's just
Mhm.
like when you go when you do things that you know that you are not supposed to do, and then you're like, this is just today. Like
Mhm.
today can become tomorrow, and after, and all of a sudden there's a habit.
Yes.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if this quote has also something related to your personality, but I saw one similar quote that said like your habits then become parts of your personality,
Yes.
because
Mhm.
if you do those things like frequently, then well, I'm sorry, but that's how you're doing, that's how your personality is being at the moment.
Mhm.
And I think it's a great way to start because it has a little bit of everything, and
Yeah.
I loved it. I think that's a very cool
Me
quote.
too.
Mhm.
What's yours?
Okay, so I have I don't know what to choose. Okay, I'm gonna share this one because I had a conversation with my boyfriend the other day about this. So the quote goes like this: wise men talk because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something. So it is attributed to Plato. I'm not an
Mhm.
expert. That's what it says. But sometimes on the internet, you find that it's attributed to someone who's not. So, but I
Yeah.
think it's so old that, yeah, maybe. So I like this sentence because we all have made this mistake before.
Mhm.
And this is something that I struggled throughout my life a lot. And
Mhm.
since a couple of years, I'm kind of done with this problem,
Mhm.
which is like sometimes we feel the need to say something.
Yes.
It's not because you have something to say, it's just you want to fill the void.
Mhm.
Yeah. And usually it's like the void that you have inside. And you want to speak because you want to prove yourself. You don't want to, like, what I'm saying right now is what I felt at the time. Like, I wanted
Mhm.
people to know that I'm not an idiot. Like, I
Yeah.
felt so insecure that I was like, okay, if I don't say nothing right now, they will think that I'm an idiot. Or I have to speak more than that person. So I'm above, right?
Mhm.
All ego,
Mhm.
ego, ego. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think that, first of all, I fell in love with silence. So if I don't say nothing, I'm fine with that right now. And also, as I gain more trust in myself and more confidence, at when you are in a meeting, some people are very shy, they don't say anything, but they
Yes.
still feel like they should say anything. So it's the same problem anyway. But when you are in a meeting and everybody's like talking and you're like, and there's this anxiety, you know. And right now, when I have this anxiety, because I'm still human, so I suffer from certain things, um, I'm like, just chill. Like, oh, there's a beautiful quote that says, I have nothing to prove, I have nothing to defend. Is that Liza Nichols?
I don't know, maybe.
I think so. And I love it as well. And in those moments, that's perfect. Like, I have nothing to prove, I have nothing to defend. Like, I don't
Mhm.
owe these people nothing. If I want to
Exactly.
participate, then I participate. If I don't want to, if I don't feel like, where people are like fighting and like there's no conclusion to anything. And
Mhm.
sometimes I'm just like, and I wait till they're finished because if I jump in, I'm just gonna add more to the fire. It's just like it's not
Exactly.
worth it. It's a good way to save energy, and it's one of those lessons in life that you learn, like to keep your energy, like don't speak as much.
I agree.
Um, and in yoga, you also have one of the principles just to save your energy is to
Mm.
like don't speak like too much because words are also energy, and they bring you feelings and stuff. So I love this quote, and I love like this idea of like the wise, speak when they have to, not
Yeah.
because like they have to say something.
Yeah, I agree with this quote completely. Like over time, I think I've had the same process as you. I've become much more silent, and even times when I want to respond internally, I'm like, what is your response going to
Mm,
add to it? And if I know that it's just going to start an argument, then I don't say anything because I don't need to. Like
yeah.
you said, I don't have to defend myself to anybody. And I know
Hmm.
people who are constantly talking nonstop, and yet they don't say anything. If that makes any sense.
That makes total sense. I know some people. They just talk and talk and talk and like
And it's exhausting sometimes
breathe.
just listening to
It
them.
is.
But I think you also realize that a lot of times those people that are constantly talking have no peace inside. They cannot be with themselves because if it's quiet, they have to face themselves and they just cannot do that.
It is true. It is true. But yeah, sometimes it's hard. Like when people, I'm very sensitive to excessive talking. Like I became very intolerant to all the, nonsense. Seriously.
Yeah,
It's just like maybe it's my fault and it's my problem. Like I should be more patient. But nowadays I'm just like, I don't have the energy. I don't want to. I don't want
mhm.
to be in a like endless conversation of nothing, of
Exactly.
nothingness. Like I really don't care talking about, you know, random stuff. I really don't care. But it's like if you're speaking nonstop and there's nothing that I'm taking from this conversation, or if you were talking about other people and stuff like that, I really don't want to hear. I don't want. I became very intolerant with that.
Yeah. Mhm. I agree.
Ooh, okay, I'm ready
So
for
let
your
me
next one.
Okay, so my next one is sometimes you will never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. And I love this quote because a lot of times we don't appreciate the present that we're in. We're always looking for the next moment. Oh, when is next Wednesday going to come around because I'm watching this? Or
Yeah.
when is Friday going to come because we're doing this podcast? Or when is Sunday going to come because I'm going to church?
Mm,
So we never appreciate the moment that we're currently in. And sometimes we don't know how valuable it is until it becomes a memory.
yeah.
And yeah, so that what do you think about that quote?
I don't. I think it's like a lesson to us all. Like when I started personal development stuff, there is a huge culture and a huge push for you to manifest. I'm so good today. To manifest, and for you to think about goals, and for you to make
Yes.
visions, and for you to think about where do you want to be from um, in 5 years from now, where do you want to be 20 years from now. And I love all those exercises and I do them, and I'm like so religious in that. I love having a vision, but at the beginning, I was very focused on the vision, you know?
Mhm.
And then I was like, what the hell am I doing? Like,
Mhm.
I need to live in the moment right now because I don't know if I'm going to get there. Like, I wish I
Right.
get there. And when I get there, like, I'm still me. So let me learn. That's when it clicked for me that I had to learn to be happy right now, you
Mhm.
know? And I laugh because sometimes I felt happier when I had nothing
Yes.
than sometimes in this life that I'm living now,
Mhm.
I look
Mhm.
back and I'm like, oh my God, I was living in a freaking small room, sharing an apartment. I earned less than 500 euros a
Mhm.
month. And that's really like little money to live with. And I had days where I was like, just bliss,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
I sometimes I try to go back there and appreciate what I have and feel what I felt. And it
Mhm.
is so important to appreciate the moment and to celebrate the moment.
Yes.
And talking about journaling again, on my bullet journal, I have a place where I put my favorite moments
Mhm.
of the month. I have a
Oh,
few
I like
lines.
that.
I have an alarm set for the 28th. And that's when I, think about my favorite moments and I write them down. And I like to have like a gratitude list. Now I have this app that I shared with you. What was the name
Mhm.
of the app? Okay, I will share it with you because I love this app. It's very slick. It's presently. It's just like
Mhm.
so cute, and you just pretty much write down your. I'm oversharing today. I don't know what's happening with me, but like you have like the date, and then you just write down the things that you are grateful for. And every day there is an alarm, and you just like blah, 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 and you just write
Mhm.
down. And it helps me a lot to be in the present moment because the future we never know.
Exactly.
So yeah, so I love the quote, agree with it, totally true.
Mhm. Yeah,
Mhm.
Eckhart Tolle in The Power of Now says that now is all we have because the past is
Yes.
already gone and the future hasn't come yet. So we're only ever living in the now, and that's all we have. And once you can appreciate that and understand that, you can stop having such anxiety about the future.
Yes, yeah, I love Eckhart Tolle. If you want to live in the present, just read Eckhart Tolle or listen to one of these. Like, oh, The Power of Now.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Read it. You're
Yes.
gonna be in the present, just like that. I promise you. Like seriously, I shared this book with so many people, and like
Yes.
it works.
I think it's a great first book to like spirituality if like you're just starting
Yes.
out. I think it's a great book to
Yeah,
start with.
yeah. I like my journey, but I didn't like to realize that I was just like looking at the present, looking forward and towards the present. And I was like, present, sorry, the future.
Mhm.
And I was like missing the present.
Yes,
Maybe if
me
I
too.
read Eckhart Tolle before. Okay, dokies. So I think I'm gonna share the one that I don't like as much.
Yes, let's do that.
And then I'm gonna end up with my favorite, just like, because I want to end up with something positive. Okay. When I read this sentence and when I read this sentence and all the sentences related to this topic, I just roll my eyes. I'm sorry. So it says, some people is gonna just don't kill me, everybody. There's a motive, a reason behind this. Okay, so it says, family is not an important thing. It's everything. Okay. So, what do you think? I want to hear your opinion before I jump in with all my
Well,
hate.
my opinion is that I disagree with this quote. I don't think family is everything. You can come from a family that's not supportive, that puts you down and bullies you. And so if you believe this, then like maybe you think that like all families are like that and they're not. And
Mm,
so I completely disagree with this quote. I don't like it. I don't think it's true.
mhm.
If you come from a good family and you had a great childhood and you're really close to your parents and everything is fine and they're supportive of you, then maybe to you, family is everything and that's okay. But I think it's important to realize that not everybody grew up that way.
Oh my God, I'm so happy you agree with me. I was like, am I going to stay here by myself saying that I
No,
hate this? You know what? Like, there's nothing wrong about this family. If family is everything for you, I find that's cool. But Um, for a long time, I have struggled with having family members that were toxic, not treating me right, abusing me, and everything.
hmm,
And since childhood, you hear family is everything. It's just us. It is just us. And it's something that I heard in my family. It's just like, okay, forget about your friends. We're family. We're family. And I'm like, okay, so this family has to punch you in the face, and punching you in the face, is that okay? Like,
yeah,
so just because it's family, should we accept it? And I think that right now things are changing, but in our society, there's this thing that like family is everything and family is everything. And then as a consequence, we accept behavior from family that we don't accept from anyone else just
exactly. Yeah.
because they're family, right?
Hmm.
So there's a lot of people in therapy because of people that should be in therapy, from
Hmm.
our family and dealing with like crazy trauma. And I know that some people are going to say, okay, so for you, uh, it's not applicable, but like for a lot of people, but it's the
Agree.
other way around. A lot of people have crazy freaking families.
Mhm.
And I am a primary school teacher, and I am so careful, but careful with that. Because in school, we're like, oh, let's do a little bit of draw of your family. Let's draw your family. And then family is so cool. And we love our families. And like, we are brainwashing. And
Mhm.
I remember myself like being an abused child, like, oh, a family, like, and I'm like, is it like,
Yeah.
and it's so freaking confusing and a little bit sick. Like, let's just get
Mhm.
used to having different families and having families that are not everything,
Mhm.
right? It's just like friends. Friends are not everything, you know.
Mhm.
Some friends are cool, some friends are not cool, and some families are freaking toxic and abusive. And most of cases of abuse are within families.
Exactly. Yeah.
So let's stop saying that so often. Let's
Mhm.
stop brainwashing the kids and tell them that they should accept everything. Let's just leave a door for kids to come to their teachers and talk about what's happening in their homes if they're
Mhm.
having problems. Because if we are with this mentality that family is everything and family is there for you until you die, like physically, it is cool that someone is there physically, but if this
Mhm.
person is like abusive, if it's hitting you, if it's mental, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, it really doesn't matter if it is,
Mhm.
and this, when I see these sentences, like, it stresses me out. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, this is not true. Stop saying that, and stop assuming that all families are good, because they're
Exactly.
not. And if you look at your life, you will see that all families are effed up, and some families, some people have, the advantage of having like a family that is everything,
Mhm.
and there is no abuse, there is no nothing. And I am
Mhm.
like genuinely happy for them. And when I look at happy kids, I look at that, I'm so fascinated. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
my God, that's so cool. Like, I'm happy for them. But unfortunately, a lot of us didn't have that.
Mhm.
And it's just like sad, you just feel like you don't fit. It's just like, and another important thing is that it makes you wrong.
Exactly. Yeah. It makes you
It's
feel
like,
like something's
why
not right.
don't you speak to your father? Like, I may have a good reason, because
Mhm.
I may have a good reason. Family is everything, remember? So if I'm not
Mhm.
talking to my father, maybe there's a reason. And people
Right.
are so aggressive when it comes to it. They're like, what? Sometimes you have to take
Yeah.
measures. I'm sorry,
No, I agree with everything that you
I did like a
said. I
ranting
think
right now.
it's putting too much pressure on people that don't have that, and then sometimes they feel there's something wrong with them. It's like, well, what's wrong with me if I don't have a family that is everything to me? And so then you
Yes.
start questioning yourself, which you shouldn't because of your circumstances. Like sometimes, like you said, you're just not given the right family, and unfortunately, like they treat you badly, and you have
Mhm.
to live with that. And so to believe that then like that's everything makes you feel even worse. So
Yes.
I completely disagree with this quote.
Yeah.
I think my everything is to have an endlessly internal love for myself and an internal peace. I think that is what is everything to me.
Oh, that was so beautiful. It is true. It is too, like, true. Like, everything is like, for me, is to feel peaceful. That's
Mhm.
everything for me. And I do everything I can to feel peaceful. And that's
Yeah.
it. Like, we come at the same time that we are all connected, we also come alone
Mhm.
to have this journey, right?
Mhm.
So to have this space, and then everything around us may be good or bad, like, it cannot be everything. Your partner cannot be everything, your friends cannot be your everything, and your family cannot be your everything.
Yeah. I agree. So I'm going to share the one that I don't like, and
Okay.
it says the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. So I don't like this because um it talks about how like you shouldn't think about the old, like you should only focus on the new, and that's how you're going to change.
Hmm.
Okay, but sometimes you need to have time to grieve, to process what happened, and to analyze like what happened in the past before you can move on to the new. Like not everybody is ready to move on to the new,
Hmm.
and so maybe change is going to take a little bit longer for you it to happen to you, but that's okay. But I think it's so important to also focus on like what happened and have time to process it and to deal with it, because if you don't process it and you just move on, maybe you didn't heal it completely and it's just sitting in the back of the closet that's just waiting to come out the next time you have a fight or an argument, and it's just, you know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah. I agree with you. I just wonder what he meant with not on fighting the old. Like, what does he mean? Fine.
I guess he means on what I gather is like don't like you can't change the old. So what's the point of like constantly fighting it and trying to change the old? Like you're not gonna get a
Mm-hmm.
change out of it. It already happened. It's in the past. The
Mm-hmm.
only way you're gonna change now is if you can focus on like the new things that are happening. But if you're sitting there trying like like for example, like we're both third culture kids. And if we are constantly fighting that and saying like no we're not, we fit in, we're Portuguese and we're American, and we're trying to focus on like maybe that's what he's trying to say is like stop fighting the old because you can't change it.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get anything out of it. But at the same time, I feel like you need to address it. You need time to heal with it. You need time to process it, because if you don't, like you're just like putting it away in a closet and it's still there. Like it doesn't go away. Like it's still part of you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I agree. I agree to I agree to a certain extent. Like it depends on where you are on your journey.
Mhm.
Because some people they're like dwelling in the past,
Yes.
dwelling in the past and swimming on this river of misery and victimism, right? We all have been there. So
Yes.
I do understand. I think I understand where this person is. This person, Socrates, my friend Socrates, is coming from. And I think that that's it, because sometimes we are so focused, as we said, we don't want to be in the future, we don't want to be all time in the past, we want to be
Mhm.
present. So if you want to change, you have to do the change now. But I
Mhm.
do understand that this, since I know people, I know you people, I'm very good at people. I know that some people are going to read this and avoid their past,
Mhm.
and they're gonna be like, "Hmm?" So I just have to look into now. Yes, now is good. So I do understand where you're coming from as well.
Yeah.
So on that part, so I do agree with you. Like you have to make peace with your past. Like you
Mhm.
have to go back a little bit. You have to suffer it. You have to make peace, embrace it, because before
Mhm.
you can move forward. So
I
I do
agree.
agree with you. I agree with
Yeah.
you, and I kind of agree with Socrates. But Socrates should have said, "But if you are not joking,
Little asterisk.
yeah, let's ask him. I'm gonna write him a letter." Ah, I'm sorry. So is it my time to share my favorite?
Yes, it's yours.
Okay. So this is from Miss Maya Angelou, and it says, "If you don't like something, change it. If you can change it, change your attitude." And I think that this is life. This is life.
Mhm.
If you don't like something, stop complaining, do something about it,
Yes.
act on it. It will take you 10 years. Do something about it. You will feel better immediately. Like,
Mhm.
no question about it. If you cannot change it, okay, I have to do this work right now. I have to be at this job for a year or so. So change your attitude towards it so you are not miserable.
I agree.
I think this sums up life. That's how we
Yeah.
should deal with life.
Mhm.
Don't like, change. Can
Yeah.
change, just
It
change
goes
your
back to
attitude.
the first quote I read that talked about your thoughts become your habits and your habits
Mhm.
become your character. And so it's about like change your thoughts to change your attitude.
Yeah, totally. I think it sums up everything. And to be honest, this is Maya Angelou's quote, but I read something similar on The Power of Now. And there are a lot of people that, have quotes like similar to this one. I just love the way she put it up. And it's so cool. And it's just like, well, that's true. Yeah. It's like a kick in the butt, because
Mhm.
all the quotes are usually like, rah, rah, rah,
Mhm.
da-da-da, you can achieve. And this is like, you know what? Just do something.
Mhm.
And if you cannot do something, well, then, just change your attitude because you cannot do something. Like, that's it.
Yeah,
Fact.
I agree.
Love it.
I agree. So the next one I have is funny. It says, "Be a Fruit Loop in a world full of Cheerios." So let me explain this. This is a cereal that we eat here in America, and Cheerios are very plain. They're tan, beige color, and a Fruit Loop is different colors. So it's like pink and orange and yellow and green. So what this
Mhm.
quote is saying is like in the world full of normal people, whatever normal means,
Mhm.
be yourself, be an individual, be unique, because that's all you can be. That's why I like this quote.
I love it. I love it. That's it.
Yeah,
We're done today. I'm not going to say anything. That was beautiful. That's it. Be yourself.
exactly.
Okay, everyone. So, oh, what are you drinking?
A chamomile tea.
And I'm drinking rose tea. Um,
Oh, very nice.
I don't know if our audience can listen to another quote or if it is too much. You tell me in the comments. Let things come to you. I
I
love
like that.
it. I
Yes.
love this. It's just
Let things
like,
come to you.
let it come. Ask for it and let it go. Yeah,
Mhm.
it will come.
Mhm.
I once heard an explanation that was so beautiful. Like when you plant a seed, yeah,
Mhm.
you water it, yeah,
Yes.
and then you just go back and keep watering it. You don't stay
Mhm.
like this looking at the seed.
Where's the plant?
Yeah, just waiting for the plant. So when you ask for something in life, it's just the same. You plant a
Mhm.
seed and then you wait for it to come to you, and you water it. You do one thing or the other. Isn't that
Mhm.
beautiful?
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
so. I like
Yeah.
that. Very true. Thank you so much for joining us today. We always love to hear from you. So let us know if any of the quotes, like, had resonated with you, if you liked them, didn't like them, and let us know what your favorite quote is and why.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you very much for watching and for listening on Spotify. And that's it. Bye bye. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.